Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I had to close the other live stream because my chat box wasn't loading for some strange reason. Hey, I'm so glad you guys can hear me now. Hi. How is everybody doing? Hi, Anthony. Hi, Mark. Hi, Louise. Hi, Cynthia. Gail. Hi, Danny. I know Mercury retrograde has been doing so many wild things with my life lately. No, just kidding. Just my electronics life. Hi. Hi, Lee. Lee is in Australia. Wonderful. So I'm so glad to be here, guys. I really wanted to. I was guided to do this live chat. Oh my god, and Linda is here from Germany. Hi. Wie geht's? So I was guided to do this live stream, live chat. And a little while before, while I was tuning into the energies, I was guided to, apart from what we're going to talk about today, I was guided to do some healings because I feel like there's a lot of emotion going on for many people. There's a lot of movement and a lot of energy shifts, and they can feel quite intense in the body, in the human. So we are going to do a little bit of healing to address that. Hi, Emma. And I will also do like mini healings. They're not going to be like my usual mini healings, but I will do like very small mini healings for like individual for everyone who is here live. So we will go through each of you and we will clear one thing about you or about you and your twin flame connection. So we're going to start with, talking a little bit, and then we will go into that, okay? And I hope this helps you a little bit more directly, Yes, I think. Hi, Robert. Hi. Oh my God, I'm so glad everybody's here. You guys are so wonderful, and I love that we are doing this work together. Hi, Fair. Hi, Lee. Yes. So one of the things that I have been seeing, if we want to go right into the energies. So okay, where do I start? Okay, so this Mercury retrograde, right? We were clearing a lot of things from the past, of course, timelines, but really like they're saying like they're kind of like the last layers to enter into a completely different paradigm, a completely different era that we haven't experienced before. So, of course, when we're in these, we're kind of like walking on this bridge and we look down and we're like, oh my God, we're so high, we're so far away from the ground, But it's very important right now to, instead of being carried or led by our emotions or by feelings of overwhelm, because it can occur. So if any of you are going through this, it's very important to pull your energy back inside and to really build this space of sanctuary, this space of peace, and build your neutrality. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was neutrality. So usually when we think about, when we ask the majority of people, okay, what do you want? What would you like to feel? I would like to feel joy and peace. Usually peace is one of the things that we kind of aspire to, right? And especially in the spiritual journey, it's like one of the things that yeah, that we are kind of wanting to have in our lives, right? Of course, joy, but peace is, I think, the most expansive energy of joy. So when we're doing spiritual work, one of the things that I like to focus and emphasize on is, while we're going through the highs and lows of the journey, that we can always identify a place inside of us that keeps neutrality, the energy of neutrality. Why? Because if we are neutral, right? Think about Switzerland, or we always have polarity, we always have duality, but neutrality is that point in the middle where we can actually see both things, we can acknowledge both energies, we can see and feel our electric field, we can see and feel our magnetic field, but we can choose to be the observer. So it's kind of like what we do when we meditate, right? When we start to understand that we are not our thoughts, we are not our emotions, and we are not our physical body. So this is really, really going back to basics of, spirituality, of our spiritual practice. But sometimes, through all the things that we learn in the journey. Hi, Josie. Hi, Sharanda. Hi, Golden Heart and Saffron. So through all these things that we go in the journey, and through intensity, especially in these times of big shift, big intensity, big emotions, that's when we really need to remember that there is always a safe, neutral space inside of us where we can go to whenever we need a break, whenever we need a time to breathe, to rest, to recuperate, and to really regain our power, our strength back, to go back out there and continue. So I'm just inviting you. This is an invitation to all of you who have been going through things to, really go back in and try to tap into that neutral energy, into that sanctuary within you that cannot be altered by anything, not even by your thoughts, not even by your emotions, not even by, whatever things we are going through. So the more we remember this, and this is part of, what I also call self-love. For me, the self-love practice and, being, I'm always encouraging everyone to practice self-love first and foremost, right? Because that is the energy that allows us to create that safe space, that neutral space where we can just reside. So if we don't build it for ourselves, right, no one is going to come in and hand it to us, right? No one is going to, we cannot give this. Even though we do healing, we can give a sense of that neutral energy, of that relaxation. As a healer, we can transmit that feeling to the patient, but we cannot bring them there, or we cannot, create that sanctuary for them. This is something that we all have to build within, and that is part of our responsibility, right? That is our life's responsibility. That is the responsibility of our energy, of being an energetic being on this earth, or an angelic being on this earth. or however you consider yourself, because we have many, many templates apart from the angelic. So just to remind you that that space is always there, and that even in the midst of chaos, if you remember that it is, like right now, you can tap into it, and you can go there with your mind, with your consciousness, with everything you are, and just say, all is well. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. And that's just a reminder of the divine. That's just giving space for the divine to be within you, to reside, to have a temple within you, to have, it's like having your own little altar wherever you go to, wherever you have the sacred space within you that only you can access, and that it will always be there. It will always protect you, and it will always give you that peace and that calmness and that stillness. So many times when we're going through many things and we are doing so many things and we have so much to do and there's so much drama, one of the best things that I recommend to do is just to, disengage, come into a place of no reaction and see what comes through. See and analyze, become the observer of your thoughts, of your feelings. And, the more we can start to distinguish one from another, we can really start to process, and we can really do our spiritual work. We can really do our healing work. All of you who are here, all of you wonderful light workers, you all, have that capability. Well, all human beings, we all have that, but especially those of you who are awakened, you can use this awareness, use it for your benefit, not against you. If you're aware that you're being triggered, if you're aware that you're feeling this and this way, if you're aware that something caused you to shift in energy, go inside and look, okay, well, what happened? From a very neutral space, just as the observer. What happened? Does this have to do with my feelings? Are these my thoughts? Where is this coming from? And you can even write it down. And after you kind of dissect this and distinguish, okay, maybe this was a thought. Okay, well, what's causing that thought? Oh, well, maybe it's a program from I don't know how many years back, or maybe, it was triggered by this and this idea. And you can start to look at where it's coming from. And usually, like 80% of the times, all of these things that we consider like problems or challenges, they don't even come from ourselves and our own energies. They're coming from outside circumstances and outside situations, or from other people. So that's when we can really say, okay, well, I'll go inside into my energy and heal whatever is in me that is engaging with that, or that is triggered by that, and heal your part. So instead of healing, thousands of things, perhaps you need to heal or to address 3 things in yourself. So everything becomes less overwhelming, right? And of course, if you're not in, that place to do that at that moment, you can also, give yourself time, space, and then come back into that situation when you're feeling better. Because when we're feeling triggered and when we're emotional, it's very hard to come into that stillness and to come into that peace. Because, our emotions are not, they're taking over our energy. So we need to, put them in a balanced place, balance the thoughts, balance the emotions, balance the body if the body's also acting out. And from then we can really have a clearer perspective of what's going on. Of course, easier said than done. I know, but like everything, it takes practice. But the more we can remind ourselves, even if it's something small, just to breathe, and come back to your breath and say, I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I am not my physical body. Just by saying that, you can tap into your divinity. And the moment you tap into your divinity, that connection takes over all the rest. Many times when I have patients, and if they come into the session with a lot of, whether emotions or thoughts or something that happened, when they come into a session really like a little bit like riled up or like with many things, or even upset, even on the verge of crying, the first thing that I do, is just breathe. We go into breathing, or we talk and we come into that, and I bring them energetically or help them to come into their neutral space, into that, peaceful place, that neutral space, just out of their emotions and into their higher self. And just by allowing that connection, just by connecting them with their higher selves, or, well, they allow me to help them to connect to their higher selves. Just by doing that, sometimes they're like, I don't even know why I was upset, or like, I don't know why I was feeling so bad. Because that's the thing. When we are getting carried by our emotions or by negative thinking, we can very quickly and easily go into this downward spiral, right? And the more we go down, the harder it is to come out. So that's why it's always good to, if and you're aware that you're going in that, in that direction, to just stop yourself, give yourself a break, and let yourself breathe and connect to your divinity. And also knowing that your higher self, your divinity, God, however you call it, when you connect to that higher power, to that higher source is divine consciousness. And divine consciousness it's an intelligent energy. It's conscious. So it knows what to do. It is like the fountain of healing that you can access to just by having your conscious intent to connect to it. And when you do, if you're feeling upset, the first thing that conscious energy is going to do is it's going to calm you down. And it's going to go to those places where it needs to go for you to come back to balance. Okay. So I hope that helps. I didn't really want to go so deep into that, but I guess this may be a message for some of you who are listening, very specific. So if you, I hope that it helps you and you can practice this, okay? If you're going through something. We're all going through many things. And I'm laughing because, I'm just, I woke up this morning and I was just seeing, a little bit of looking back into my life and time and the years. And I was just seeing everything like in a very beautiful vision, kind of like looking at a landscape, a moving landscape, kind of like what they say when you go to the other side, that you start to see all your life in like images. And that's a little bit what I had today. And while I was having that, I was just laughing and kind of like smiling to myself because I thought, no way, like how is so much perfection possible, And needless to say that my life has been like very far away from perfect, right? But it's just like to see from that divine perspective into your life, like even the most insignificant things, even the most, like the smallest things, the things that were really hard, those years, those times, those illnesses, those moments, all the challenges, but also all the beautiful and crazy things that happen in our lives. I was just thinking, I couldn't have planned this better. you know, like, of course not me, the human, right? But like my higher self, I was just in awe of God. I was like, you know, and not because I think, oh, I had the most perfect life. Of course I didn't, but in a higher aspect, I did. And I think all of you have, you know. Yes, it's very, very mind-blowing when you say all the things that had to happen and how they had to happen in order for me to be able to be here right now, where I am, and wherever you guys are, wherever you're sitting, wherever you are, however you look like in this life, whatever, culture you belong to, whatever your journey has been, to be here, to be awake, to be in this moment is just miraculous. So I was just, having this experience. And, I think these are things that when we are caught up in life, and we're caught up in many stories and, the things that we want to happen. And when we try to control our lives and we want to, micromanage every aspect of our lives, sometimes we forget, that there's also another path. There's also this benevolent force, this divine consciousness that is always in the background. It's like we're swimming in the water and suddenly we forget that, the water is carrying us. We're like, nope, I'm doing this all by myself because I'm swimming. But it's like, no, this water is taking you. This is what it's making you, it allows your body to float, the element. So the same way, the divine stream, divine consciousness is always in the background. It's always there. It never goes away. Not even when we think that we are left off or that we are without. We are never without. And that is part of what union is. That is part of what understanding what union is. It's union with the divine and building up, and knowing that if you fall back, the energy, this divine energy is there. It's always there. It has always been there, And of course, we go through many scenarios, right, in life, and many situations where we think, oh, there's no way that, the divine was here when I witnessed that or when this and this happened to me. But, if we see it from the, a higher perspective, not from the human, but from the higher perspective, we can actually understand and see why, some of the things happened and how they were designed for us to move into where we needed to go. And, in my experience, since I can remember that I started to say like, oh, I'm never going to do that, like those things that you think, oh, no, it's no way I'm going to do that. Like, not even in a way that you're judging it, but just like, no way I'm going to do that. I think every single thing that I said that about, or that I even thought that about, because it wasn't even saying, it was just like the thought in my mind, like not even saying it to anyone. All of the things that I said, no, I don't think I will do it, I have done it. Right? So that's also part of the miracle of being alive. And, they say cats have 7 lives. I think, all of us, and especially all of us who are here awake, and all the humans, we have so many lives in one lifetime. We live so many things through so many stages that, it's pretty amazing, all of the transformation that we go through in one life. So imagine if you remember, or when you start to remember all of your lifetimes, right? So through the energy that is coming to the planet now, through the energy that will continue to come in. There's no way back. We're not going back into lower energies. We're just ascending, right? That's why it's called ascension. And ascension is literally the staircase to heaven. So there's always just more light, more consciousness, more light. And we keep on going, right? So I think this is, important just to keep in mind, to give you a little bit of a more general perspective of what we're doing, at a multidimensional level, at a collective level. I had also another beautiful experience that I wanted to share with you. But I will go into the energies, a little bit into the energies of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy. You can also see it as the masculine and feminine energy. It is not just twin flame bound, the way I see it a little bit broader. But I wanted to talk about something that I have been seeing for the divine feminine that is coming up, and it's also coming up because of this month, the significance, the whole day without women that's happening, and also the day that we celebrate women. And I think it's very important because, even though these dates may seem like, oh, they're just like preset dates or whatever, but they're also part of the collective consciousness. And even if you do it consciously or unconsciously, we all kind of tap into those energies. So, of course, if, a lot of people in the world are, oh, I love that. AJ, sweetie, the mastery number, of course. That's what we're talking about. All these things have to do with mastery, right? Mastering your energy, mastering your life, mastering awareness. So, and of course, if a lot of people in the world on one day are focused on the mother energy or the feminine energy, things are going to be, coming out collectively. It's always happening anyway, right? We're tapped into the collective unconscious. So the problem with that is that, well, it's not a problem, but, it's unconscious, right? So we may be tapping into some feelings and things and thoughts and programs that we are not really wanting, perhaps, or we don't, we may get stuff into our unconscious mind sometimes. So we process that too. So one of the things that I was seeing coming up for the divine feminine energy is, especially for this month of March, is going deeper into healing the wounds of sexual trauma again. And this is something that, when I say again, probably many of you are like, oh my God, this again. And, as always, these are things that are layers and layers, right? But this is a very important subject that I think we still have a little bit of trouble talking about, acknowledging, even as women, whether you suffered this or not. Through our collective memory and through our bodies, we store so much information, right? And also Gaia, in her grid, she stores information, so energetic information. So we all know about, the collective abuse of, the gender and the difference between gender and all that went on in, in this past era. So this is, I think, a subject that is very sensitive, but that is very important for us as divine feminine and as women to process and to go through our own healing of this, our own personal organic healing in regards to this, because it is something that affected our ancestors, and that we are trying, or energetically we're coming to a point where we want to heal this out of the collective. And this is also part of the reconciliation with the divine masculine energy, because this is bringing both of these energies into balance, where vulnerability from each side, from the feminine or the masculine, is not seen as something to prey on. And this comes also, not just through the feminine and the masculine, but it also comes through these different organisms and structures that were built. And especially I'm getting the church, and a lot of the Catholic Church, and how these kind of abuses, also to children and all that, they kind of were endured, or were this imbalance was kind of propelled and propagated also through these very rigid ways of thinking and perceiving of the feminine and the masculine energies. So not just the feminines were victim to this energy and to this imprisonment and to these enslavement energies, but also the masculine. So this is one of the things that I'm seeing, come up for the divine feminine, and that we all, as divine feminine and as women, we are collectively healing this out of our timelines, out of the grids. And, if you have been, I had a dream recently where I was with so many beautiful divine feminines, and we were just healing and clearing this, and using the waters of the earth to continue to cleanse our bodies. So the energy of Mother Earth is so present, it's so important right now, and she's supporting us so much, both the feminine and the masculine. So if you want, or if you're going through something like that, or if you have been feeling some kind of tension, because this wound of sexual trauma and sexual abuse, and this abuse of the masculine with the feminine, it can come out in our lives, and it can play out in many different ways. Most of the times it would play out in a way that, divine feminines or women have a hard time trusting men and being vulnerable with men, and also being intimate with men, and being vulnerable while being intimate with men. So, and also, being open to be vulnerable, and to, acknowledge and love their bodies. So this wound for the feminine caused a lot of, pain, and it caused kind of this lack of self-worth, this distortion of worthiness, because it was a distortion. And for the masculine, it also caused this part of it was guilt, but also then a fear of hurting, or a fear of becoming something that they didn't want or they didn't control, a fear of being really in their masculine power and not abusing that power. So however, and if any of these things are presenting, if you are divine feminine, you can tune into the energies of the waters of the ocean, and in meditation or visualizing just this beautiful aqua tone. It's a turquoise aqua tone, and just imagining this tone washing away from your body and washing away all of these, because I see them kind of like knots and kind of like strings attached, or chains. For some, it's chains. So just washing away all of this, whatever remnant of that energy that may be holding through your field, through your conscious mind. Just go through your multidimensionality and bring this beautiful, shiny aquamarine tone, turquoise tone, and just put it all over your body. Also, if when you're taking a shower, you can envision this tone and ask Mother Earth and the Divine Mother, and all the divine feminine energies to support you in that. And you will be supported. Now is the time to do that. Sorry, my dog is here. She just came and gave me a kiss. Okay. So that would be very helpful. Sorry, guys. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to let her out because she wants to run for the hill. So let me just open the door. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm back. So sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so that was the divine feminine. So, and of course, all of these things that we're clearing out, right? Hi, Elisa. So, all of these things that we are clearing out, it's part of making way for the energies of union that are grounding in. And they're grounding through our bodies, they're grounding through our minds, through our emotions, through all of our systems, all the way up to divinity. So many of you, divine feminines, you may also be experiencing, like changes in your body, like profound changes. And I see more changes like into like a new way of being in your body, like more lightness. It's kind of like through these clearings, we're becoming more light in our energy, and these chains and these burdens that were carried in the body, this heavy energy is starting to leave. For many, it has already started to leave. Since you were born, you started to do this work. But right now, I feel like after this month of March, you're going to start to feel a big shift in your body if you're not feeling it already. Okay. Oh, yes, saffron. Yes, all of that, the witch burnings, and especially if you guys are light workers, this feeling of persecution is very strong. And, I talked to some of my, fellow healers and sisters in the community, and even just like when we were, we shared these experiences at different times, right? But when we were to start, for example, for me, when I was about to start this YouTube channel, I had a lot of like memories and this kind of like this fear of those templates of persecution, just because of doing this light work. Because of course, when you are right, you're putting your light out there, so many things get pulled into your field, and especially if you are like me or like other people that are consciously working and transmuting and healing, actively healing energies, and healing a lot of people, and being in contact with as many as possible. We encounter all kinds of energies, right? So I thankfully, this channel, and I think this is, due to all of you guys who have found me. Thankfully, I think I have mostly have had very beautiful experiences. But still in the beginning, this was a huge thing for me to clear, just to, really put myself out there to be found, and to be seen. Because many times when we were, high priestesses, or we were healers, or we were spiritual workers, we were shamans, we had very difficult experiences there, and there was, especially by people who didn't understand, who weren't believers, also, encountering, the churches and all that. So all of that was forbidden, and and many of you know what happened. So this is part of what we're also healing, and especially if you're here in the light worker community, and especially if you're having patience, you're putting yourself out there. These are one of the core things that we need to heal, and sometimes are very important to heal if you're not, getting to as many people or to as many clients as you would like to. So always, know that everything happens organically. And the more we heal, the more we're able to heal broader, right? And we all have, different timelines. So, yes, dear Morgan, this happens a lot. And, it's always important to really take care of yourself, because also the more you are in contact with many energies, the more you are, and you're sensitive, you can pick up on so many things, right? There's the really like beautiful part, like when I hear from you guys that you have dreamt about me, or that I came to you in a dream and healed you, or helped you heal your twin flame or something. It's very beautiful to hear those messages, because they have happened a lot of times. So that talks about, the light work. But of course, there's also, connection with all kinds of things and beings. And we're, in the end, we're all connected, and there's nothing to fear. But we do have to know our energies and know our boundaries, and have strong energetic boundaries, especially now, and especially if you are working with many people. Mm-hmm. So Morgan, I hope this helps you, to, if you can work on really setting your boundaries, and to really have, your time, your space to tend to yourself, and to be conscious of your energy, and, really state that nothing and no one can come into your energy, but your energy, right? Okay. So for the divine masculine, one message that I was getting was, because I have had a couple of, sessions in the last weeks with divine masculines, or with masculines, and sometimes they go through this, where they feel like perhaps the feminine is pulling back their energies. And one of the messages that came again today was, just to, when you're holding that sacred space, for the feminine, right? And especially when you are also preparing, when you're in union, when you're preparing to come into union, or if you are in a partnership right now, or if you're with your twin flame right now, or even if you're not, when you see women, or when you interact with them, it's so uh, you know beautiful to encounter a man and divine masculine presence that can acknowledge in his field, you know, the vulnerability of the feminine, and of course, and vice versa. Um, so, when you see, because the body of women has been so like sexualized, and has been objectified, and all of these things that have happened. This has led for many women, for many feminine, divine feminines, to disconnect from the bodies, This happened to me too at one stage. And there was something that I saw, for example, uh, in Cuba when I was there. I don't know if you guys have been there, but I'm just being guided to share this. Okay. So when I was there, the relationship and the way I related to my own physical body completely changed. And I was wondering, okay, I'm feeling very different, but I couldn't like pinpoint what it was. And then it dawned on me that in Cuba, there is no advertising, right? There is no television, like there are no, like models, there are no products being sold, etc., etc. So the image of the woman is not objectified. It's not, placed into boxes, or it's not even sexualized. So what I saw as a result, and of course this is my personal experience of this, but what I saw was that all women there, in their different beautiful, you completely different shapes of bodies, they were all very confident. And there was this sense of confidence just in being, in walking, in being in their own bodies, in their own skin. And I was thinking, of course, energetically here, the majority of women, they don't have this like outside reference, and this like program and cultural programming of how a woman should look like, or what is appealing and what is not, and what is beautiful and what is not. So the result, or what I experienced, was that everyone was beautiful. Each and everyone was beautiful. And, the sexual energy, even, it was like free flowing. There was just, there was this like confidence instead of fear somehow, But of course, I mean, this was one of my internal perceptions, right? And, also Cuba has very hard reality, and there is a lot of prostitution. There's so many things that are going on there. But when I saw just about the image of the woman, and how women, they were, each and every one, they were defining themselves, and collectively, there was this freedom just to be. And of course, in other realms, and in so many other realms, there is no freedom at all over there, right? For women, or for anybody, for that matter. But I thought this was a very beautiful experience, because even just me being there, I had the same like relationship. It was like this energy was something that I felt too. So when we look at these, at Western society, and especially, in America or in Europe, and, we actually see that there is a lot of, lack of self-worth. And if you go into statistics and all of that, you can find that, a lot of precisely these like more developed countries are the ones that have, where women have less like self-esteem, where they're actually, have more rights or are able to, go to school and get, more equal rights than in other countries. So, for me, when I see it energetically, this is very important because we are doing, we're not all doing the same work, and you were born in where you were born for a reason. Some of us are working, and evolving one part of the collective, and some of us are working on evolving another part. So there is no right or wrong, right? And there is no no other place where you should be, or we should all move to somewhere else. No, but this is just to give you this energetic information that this is part of what we're doing. We are going there collectively to a place where we can feel free and feel safe and feel okay with our bodies, and okay to be vulnerable. And when divine masculines, just to for them to be here and to listen to these words and to know that, just by divine masculines knowing about the experience of the feminine, sometimes that's just even enough for them to to hold that information in their energy fields. And you know perhaps next time they see a woman, or they see the body of a woman, to really know that they're all aspects of the other. And and in recognizing all aspects of the other is where we can come into union, into full go. You can pull this, you can stretch this, as far as you want. In the end, it's union with all, right? Okay. So yeah, just place in our hearts, in our minds, in our lives, and protecting that vulnerability, and safeguarding that vulnerability, whether we see it in someone else, in a feminine, in a masculine, or whatever we see it, we're already contributing to shifting that paradigm and to bringing in more union and more love into those parts that weren't acknowledged before. So one of the most important things to acknowledge, right? Oh, I'm buffering. Okay. Let me see. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Oh, good. You just heard me type. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Sorry about that. My connection. Okay. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, so right, so acknowledging and protecting, innocence and vulnerability, and this is something that also goes, in another, through the collective, the spiritual collective, through the whole, twin flame. I know many of you are like, I don't know if I identify with this anymore, or if I do, and wherever, one of the things that I always said, and that I could kind of experience firsthand because of my brother, my brother, if you guys don't know, he is I don't know how you say it, like mentally challenged. He has the mentality of like a 4-year-old boy, and he has paralysis in his body, right? So he's basically like a very small child, but he's in the body of an older person. So growing up with him, of course, he has this innocence of a child, right? All of these kids that are born with these things, they are always innocent, right? They never lose like their childlike way. Um, and so, since I was very small, we always took them, to my parents and I always took my brother to different schools. And one of the concerns was that, to find very, very integral people, and like people with integrity, and schools with integrity, and places where we could, like really trust that they were going to take care of him. Because if they didn't, there was no way for us to know, because he cannot communicate, in the way that perhaps a normal, child would, right? So he cannot verbalize his feelings, and so on and so forth. So it's basically like this pure innocence, right? And that, I would see my mother, and she would always be fearful of, that if he wasn't being treated right, how were we going to know, etc. So, I saw how that, and I have seen that like innocence through my brother, in the way, also in the way, people are with him, how he's treated, how he's viewed in the world. And since I was very small, I had many encounters and situations where I thought, wow, like from people being very afraid of him, or people running away, like even my friends, all kinds of things that, of course, we usually fear what we don't know, right? But there's the other side where, we have, unfortunately, we have seen this in the world, that many times, innocence and, vulnerability has been taken advantage of, right? And in the spiritual community also, in the old paradigm, and in the old paradigm of spirituality, many spiritual teachers also took advantage, of the innocence or of the belief of their followers. And this thing, for me, it was always very shocking. And I was, when I was little, I would always defend the innocent, and defend the ones who couldn't defend themselves, and the ones who didn't have a voice. Because I really thought that, if I have a voice, I can help, right? And this is something that, played out in my life in many ways. But now, when I see it more integrated in the full scope of, multidimensionality and divinity and all this, I see that sometimes we don't, or collectively, we didn't want to acknowledge these vulnerable parts of us and of society, and these, vulnerable in between, like vulnerable groups, and there it was women, and gay community, and children, and anything that was different. So we're finally coming, hi dear. So we're finally coming into this time where we are starting to acknowledge that, that there is more union than there is actually separation, and the more we focus on that, and we emphasize on that, and we protect the ones who are vulnerable, and we love, and we share, that's also like when we are able to recognize that we too are vulnerable. Because one that recognizes innocence is because inside there's there is this innocence as well. So we are more and more like putting the pieces together of the puzzle, and we're all part of this. And there were some times, back then, or after the wars or in war, where no one wanted to admit that they were vulnerable because they couldn't afford it. It was either you survive or you survive. So everybody had to be just strong and not acknowledge that. But what I see now is that the more we acknowledge, and this is also for the divine masculine, right? If we acknowledge as divine masculine that we too feel vulnerable, that we too have felt, exposed, or that we too have, these weaknesses, this perhaps emotional vulnerability, whatever there is, the more we also acknowledge that in ourselves, the more we can protect the others, and the more we're shining light on everyone. Because that's part of the healing work. That's part of the spiritual journey, to go inside of yourself and heal those aspects of you that need healing, and acknowledge, your innocence, acknowledge your divine child that you are, and let them speak and come bring him back to safety, or bring her back to safety, And as we do that, we learn, if we do that with ourselves, we learn how to do that with others too. And we don't even have to play it out like outwardly. We can just, when we heal that internally in our energy, and we come into contact with another being, we transfer that energetically too. So where I'm going with this is that I saw a video by accident today that was called Heroes Gamos, and it said ceremony Heroes Gamos, and I was interested. I was like, wow, what's this? And so it was a group of like a spiritual community, or it was like a retreat where there were women and men, and they draw kind of like a double spiral on the ground, like a huge double spiral. And one spiral, in one spiral, all the women would be standing, like forming the spiral, and in the other one, the males. And the women were dressed in red, and the males were dressed in white. And then they started the first part, it was the feminine would heal the masculine. So all the men walked towards the women, and they were just gazing at each other's eyes. So, and each man just stood in front of a woman, and they were just gazing. And the women were just looking at the men, and just offering them healing through their eyes, or love. It was just basically pure love. That's what I felt when I was looking at the video. And then the process was, reversed. So the women went to the men, and the men looked at them with love. And many of the women started to cry and started to heal very deep wounds. So that's what I was seeing energetically. And for the last part, they all gathered, and then, they were all kind of like gazing at each other in couples, right? Men and women. And these people, I think the majority didn't even know each other and stuff. And I was just seeing how much love there was, but it was more than love. It was this acknowledgement of the wounds of the feminine and the masculine. And it was this acknowledgement of the divinity in both of them. And this acknowledgement and this, honoring of being vulnerable, of being seen, of being practically naked. Of course, they weren't naked, but, energetically. And it was so beautiful, guys, that, I was just watching it and I just started crying. Like, I was in tears because I was really connecting to the energies. Because that's, for me, that's what this whole divine feminine and divine masculine is to do here. This is what we are to do. Any man that can look into any woman's eyes and just honor her and fully acknowledge her as the divine that she is, as the divinity that she is, completely honoring that, the goddess in her. That's beautiful, that's what the divine masculine is, And the other way around, just any woman that can look at any man with love, acknowledging the divinity in him, in that person, just seeing God in the eyes of that person. That's what it is. So, we can get caught up in as many stories as we want and, all these love stories, but we're here to do much, much more, profound work. And it's actually pretty simple. And it's about that. It's about honoring who you are and, honoring the divinity that you are and being able to honor the divinity in others. And if you're the divine masculine, if you're a man and you honor the divinity in a woman, you're honoring all women. And vice versa. If you're a woman and you honor the divinity in a man, you're honoring all men. You see, and this is how we heal. This is how we start healing from all things that we have known. So I just wanted to share that message with you guys, and I hope you're able to receive it in your heart as I received it in mine when I saw this, and all through today. This is why I wanted to come on here and talk to you. And I also really wanted to thank all of you, and all of the divine masculine and all of the men that are really waking up right now and that are doing their work, and that are healing and that are here, showing up, and that are showing up wherever they are in their work, in their lives, in their daily lives, and, honoring themselves, honoring women. I really thank you, because we need you, I just wrote something like that, of course we need the divine feminine, and we need the divine feminine to heal, but we also need the divine masculine, and we also need the divine masculine to heal, because we're doing all of this together. Okay, guys. So yeah, that was the message. Let me see if there's anything else. Nope. This is what I wanted to tell you. And okay, so let me see, is there anything? Oh yes, Emma. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you who are here and commenting. Thank you for sharing this. Okay, so is there anyone? I said before that I was going to do some small healings. Let me just check if I am still on time to do that, guys. Oh, you're so welcome. You know what? I'm actually guided to just bring you into a little bit of into this place in your heart through light language. And I think we will do all of the the personal healings. Tomorrow we have the honoring your beloved ceremony for everyone who wants to come. You guys are super invited. It's going to be at 8 p.m. No, sorry, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow on Sunday. Oh my God. Um, so there we're going to do a lot of healing and, a lot of clearing, especially for the ones of you who have been struggling with any kind of coping mechanisms. And also, if your counterparts or your twin flames are struggling with this, it will be really helpful. We're going to, heal deeper into these wounds of, anything like addictions and, alcohol and anything that keeps us from like our full independence or sovereignty. And it's going to be 8 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. And you can, that is the ceremony on donation. You can book in my website if you guys are interested. And of course, I will send you an email tomorrow to all of you who will participate. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up. So if you guys want to join us, please sign up today or tomorrow, because I think 24 hours before it closes. And last time people wanted to join, but it was already too late. And so we can better today or tomorrow. So we will be doing that. And I think I will open another live chat. I will do another live stream like this next Friday, and we will do the personal healings. If you guys weren't here, I want to do like very brief personal healings, but using my pendulum just to help you out in whatever comes up for you that you may need clearing with, especially to clear, so you guys are having less baggage and stuff. And sometimes, we don't even know what to heal when we are like overwhelmed by energy. So just to give you a little bit of a helping hand. So we will do that next Friday. And today I will do a very brief collective healing because I'm being guided to do that. Okay, guys. Okay. Yes, dear. My counterpart has been in a lot of pain and anger. Yes, anyone who is like struggling with these things, and that you say, perhaps me or my partner need this a little bit of extra support. We're going to address that in a very loving way on Sunday, and of course we're going to release a lot. We're going to use the energy of the full moon. And of course, all full moons are a gateway. So we're going to use it as another stepping stone to go higher. Okay. And to not go crazy. Meanwhile, right? Okay. So, oh, hi, Gariba from Singapore. Okay. Sunday is my birthday. Oh, yes, you mentioned, dear. Wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy if you're going to celebrate with us during the healing ceremony. Okay, so if you guys are ready, you can, actually, let me just drink a little bit of water. And if you want, you can also drink a little bit of water. And we're going to do this small, I hope so, small. Sometimes I say small and then we go a long time, but I think it's going to be kind of a small healing and clearing just to ground these energies of love and forgiveness and acknowledgement of the innocence within us, so that we're able to acknowledge the innocence in others. Okay. Okay, guys. So if you want, you can just breathe in deeply. If you want, you can lay down, close your eyes, or just sit in a meditation pose. You can do a mudra. Just warming my hands. Hi, Aluna. Much love to you. Okay, so let's just start breathing in deeply. Starting to, very nice, to open up through the rose ray. I'm seeing these beautiful roses also starting to open up through your channels, through the heart. Dropping into the womb, into your heart. Teshayamakai tianakayanau. And by in te ayamashite te ahayamakiata. To mayate te anteshote amayanakaya. Okay, and I'm seeing a lot of angelic beings through coming in through the rose ray. Toya Shembaya Nayanakai Beyanakaya Matai. And also feeling the energies of the dolphins. Rashoyam Haye Nikyata Bayanakui Emayana Hayanata. And starting to feel this stream of light going from your heart upward into the heart of the divine, into the heart of God, God the Mother, and God the Father. And starting to tune in and to tap into the child, into the wild child, they're saying, into the divine child that lives in your heart. Peyamayanaki, Teyanahayanakwe, Shoyamakianata. And I'm starting to see like cherubs, like these divine children that are in your heart. They have wings and they start to fly. And we just let them fly free. Bayashayamakai, Tayana Oyim, Teamanashai, Teana Yanake. They're saying, do not worry, the Divine Mother is here. And she's as vast as the oceans, as vast as all there is. Preyam Ianakai Taim Ayanahayanako. Piyane Yamashayanatai Yamahayana. Starting to relax the shoulders. We're connecting to your higher self, to the divine goddess and God essence within you, to the high priest and the high priestess. And we're starting to tune. All of you now have this rose ray on the left side of your body and this very beautiful blue ray on the right side. It looks like the pastel colors of when they reveal the gender of the babies. So we're working with a lot of the union energies and the energies of the new children, of new earth, of the new paradigm. the new essence of being. Beteama Sheyana Kai Piama Taema Tayana Shohimeyane Taema Hayana Kai Miana Toyene Mahaye. And we're opening up. We're going to wash away any layers of the heart that, and also I'm seeing a lot for the divine masculines. We're starting to go into the back of the neck and the shoulder blades. And we're going to release any hurt, any burdens of time, any trauma that they were carrying there. Anything that has been preventing you from really opening up your wings, from really flying, from really taking up on your mission, taking up on your love, taking up on your divine healing, your divine path, the path within your heart. Beshitai ide emene hena kaya nakoya boine bayata bayata shote eyana taina hana mako oyana mahayana ha. And I'm feeling a lot of healing through the Syrian. Preshetain aina. And bring these codes to the foundations, into the connections of the divine masculine with Mother Earth. This is healing the relationship to the mother, to the physical mother, and to the divine mother. Bashayama to Uyamayanake. This is healing the divine child. Behimayana Yanakoi. Beyana Shoye. Pai Tayanaki Tayanakayanai. And we're healing a lot of pain from the divine masculine, a lot of tears coming up from the divine masculine collective as they are received and they're embraced by Mother Earth, by the divine mother, by the divine feminine energy. And the divine feminine is saying, all is well, everything is okay. You are home. You are held in the divine grace. You are loved. You have always been loved, and you're welcomed home. Such as healing these wounds, if any of the masculines had abandonment wounds from their physical mother, from their earthly mothers, or rejection, or lack of love. We're washing this away. You're saying we're washing the shores of this suffering. This is going into the oceans to be cleansed and transmuted. And as the waves carry this pain and this suffering away, you're received by the sun. You're received, you're strengthened with this beautiful cosmic sun energy. Bishete Mayana. This is also the Joshua. And I'm seeing this number sequences of updating through the binary systems and binary codes. The Yamashoya through the skin, Bayana. Seeing the 0001. Bashayama, the one code, Mayanakayama Yanai. Okay, creating your safe sanctuary, your abode, creating this wisdom, this platform, this foundation of the Buddha energy, saying Maitreya, these beautiful codes of the divine masculine wisdom, Pashayana, being restored into your bodies. Preyate Yakayana Taemba. And all feminines are assisting Tayashayapa, holding the space for the masculine, for your sons, for your fathers, for your grandfathers to heal, for your ancestors, Bashaya, and for you in all of the lifetimes that you were a man or that you held the masculine energy. Preshoyamaka, allowing this to heal within. Priyene, Aene, Pai, Enehe, Ema, Heakai, Ete, Ayamakoine, Proshoite, Eana. Okay, I'm now going to the heart of the divine feminine. And I'm seeing the divine feminine carrying this cloak, this beautiful clothes, piece of clothing. It's violet. And she kind of looks like, like a beautiful high priestess, Presheya, like kind of like a wizard, kind of like this Merlin energy, but it's actually the divine feminine, just embodying her magical attributes. And I'm seeing a lot of stars and constellations on this clothing that she's wearing, and they're starting to shine. So the divine feminine is carrying the maps. She's carrying her maps to union. She's carrying her maps to forgiveness and to self-forgiveness and to joy, and to abundance, they're saying. So just restoring the templates of abundance of the feminine, Prayana, Prayama. I'm starting to extend through the sisters of the world, wherever there are feminines that are not able to express, that are perhaps lacking of these freedom. Just sending a lot of this healing, magical energy to set them free of their chains. And just bowing down to the presence of all the feminine energies in the world. Biyana, Biyashai. And we're going to ask, okay, to start to heal. Activate. I'm seeing 2 doves flying in the heart, like from the heart of the divine feminine. And they're just, for some of you, they're doves, and for some, they're hummingbirds, and they're just dancing in front of you. And they're just like suspended right in front of your eyes. So you're being gifted this grace. This is also fertility, to birth forward your dreams, to birth your grace, to really embody your divinity. And these are just encouraging you, this playful side of you, the child. And we're going to welcome in through your heart, through the gates of your heart, all of the divine masculine, or all the masculines. We're just showering all the masculine energies with a lot of forgiveness, with a lot of compassion. If there was ever lack in your relationship with your father, with your earthly father, we're just going to ask the Divine Father to step in and to activate these spirals of gold in your heart. Prene payashai kie tuiman aine pae ayanashaya. And this is really like the union in your heart. Priyanashai. As we forgive anyone, anything, we bring in more union. Prayanaka. We're gifting this to ourselves and to the world. Prayanashoya. Okay, bring in these two golden spirals. And we're starting to merge through the spirals. Bring back the rose ray and the blue ray. And if you want, you can picture your divine masculine's energy in front of you and your divine feminine's energy, the god and the goddess, or just your own god and goddess. And start to see them as they grow into embodying this high priest and this high priestess. How they're just standing together, holding hands. And it's really this energy of the doves and the two golden spirals acting all around your hearts, around your fields, anchoring these two flames, anchoring these two rays, and starting to combine, starting to merge, and starting to birth this beautiful golden tone in between, this divine alchemy, this amalgamation, this synthesis of all, welcoming this new oneness, this union, this wholeness, this integrity, this truth, this peace into your heart. Prayana, Yamashiteya, Payana. And I'm seeing how multiple babies, these beautiful angel babies, are being seeded all around the planet. This threefold energy is being seeded all around the planet, all around and through each and every one of you listening to this right now. Yanashe Peaya Kiana. And a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, vibrance through the heart. And we're going to ask that these energies are safely grounded, that these doves are safely returning home. And we're seeing everyone home in their rightful place, in union together, within you, without, all around. And anchoring through to Mother Earth, through into deep, deep core of Mother Earth, and up through deep, deep core of Father Sky, and all through all directions, throughout all space-time, dimension. We are the children of God. It is so. It is so. So it is. May the light anchor now. May the light be restored on earth now. Dayanashe. May this union be restored. May all of these unions be restored now. Trene. And so it is. And breathing that into your heart, into your womb. And just feeling this grace and this power, this love, ever so deep. that you are here and now. And we give thanks to everyone who's here, bowing down to each and every one of you, bowing down to all the ascended masters and teachers that are here, bowing down to the divine cosmic Christ, to the divine feminine energy, to the divine masculine, to all of you. We thank you for your healing. We thank you for being here. We thank you for your light, for your mission, for all that you are. Thank you. May you be in peace and in union now and always. Thank you. So very slowly, we can start to breathe in deeply. Very slowly, returning to the awareness of your bodies, anchoring all of this in you and your heart. And thank you all so much for participating in this collective healing, this beautiful work that we're doing. Thank you, peace, love, Matalisha. Oh, color for a goddess. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Such a miracle. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you all for being here. May you be blessed with all the good things, everything, all the light, all the healing. And yeah, may you continue to spread this light. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. 444. Oh, hi, honey. She's here too. Hi, Lisa. Jay. TP. Hi. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Morgan, for your donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate all of you guys so much. So I will see you the ones of you who want to join, I will see you on Sunday, okay? And please take care. And I'm always here, okay? And thank you for being there. Much, much love to all of you. And I will see you very soon. Please drink a lot of water to ground the energies and have wonderful dreams. If you can go to bed now, or if it's time wherever you are to go to bed and sleep, it will really help you to continue to integrate these energies of union. Okay. I love you guys. So many blessings to you. Elisa, Luna, Danny, Gail, AJ Sweetie, everyone, Lee, Jeshni. Oh my God, I can't believe Jeshni. Many blessings to everybody. Kariba, love you guys. So much love. Take care. Bye bye.